Up until now in this course, you have been dealing with the situation in which you have had only one group of people in your research study, and only one measurement number on each of these people. We will now change gears, and deal with the situation in which you are measuring two groups of people instead of only one group of people. But, first, we need to understand the steps involved in hypothesis testing. When two groups of people are involved. Before we dive into the procedures for this test, here is the 6 steps for hypothesis testing using the two-group t-test, which is similar to what we have learned in Lesson 1. Let's try it with an example. We want to test if there is any difference between the study hours for 6 female students and 5 male students. Following is the data collected. First, we need to name the two different groups with their corresponding names. We name Group 1 as female, and Group 2 as male. Step 1. State the null hypothesis and the alternate hypothesis. For the two groups t-test, the null hypothesis states that the population means of the two groups are equal, while the alternative hypothesis states that the population means of the two groups are not equal. Since this lesson deals with the situation in which you have two groups of people, but only one measurement on each person in each group, we will use the two-group t-test throughout this lesson. Step 3. Decide on a decision rule for the two-group t-test. Therefore, our decision rule will be: if the absolute value of t is less than the critical value of t, accept the null hypothesis. Step 4. Find the critical value of t in the t-table, with the use of Excel's data analysis tool pack. But, in order to conduct this statistical procedure, we need to check to see if our version of Excel contains the data analysis tool pack, which is necessary to run two-group t-test. Installing the data analysis tool pack. Open Excel spreadsheet. Click on Data at the top of your screen. Look at the top of your monitor screen. Do you see the words Data Analysis at the far right of the screen? If you do, the Data Analysis Tool Pack for Excel was correctly installed when you installed Office, and you should skip the following installation steps. However, if the words Data Analysis are not at the top right of your monitor screen, then the tool pack was not installed when you installed Office onto your computer. If this happens, you need to follow these steps. Click on File menu. Select Options. Choose Excel Options. Creates a dialog box. Then click on Add-ins. Manage Excel Add-ins at the bottom of the dialog box. Go highlight Analysis Tool Pack in the Add-ins dialog box. Then click OK. In Excel, there are two options for two-group t-test. First one is t-test. Two sample assuming equal variances. Second test is the t-test. Two sample assuming unequal variances. Hence, to perform a t-test, we need to perform an f-test. To determine if the variances of the two samples are equal, to perform an f-test, execute the following steps. First, move the mouse to the top of the screen and on the Data tab, then click Data Analysis. Then, select f-test2 sample for variances and click OK. Click in the Variable 1 range box and select the range from cell A2 to cell A7. Now, click in the Variable 2 range box and select the range from cell B2 to cell B6. Then, click in the Output range box and select cell E1. 6. Click OK. The result will be shown in the table. Take a look at the result. We observed that the variance of variable 1 is higher than the variance of variable 2. This is the case, 160 is greater than 21.7. Variance for female is greater than variance for male. In this case, it showed that both variance are not equal. Then we will use t-test 2 samples assuming unequal variance in this example. Now, we will perform the t-test. First, on the Data tab, click Data Analysis. Then select t-test 2 sample assuming unequal variances. And click OK. Click in the Variable 1 range box and select the range A2 to A7. Then, click in the variable toRange box and select the range B2 to B6. Then, click in the hypothesized mean difference box and type 0. Then, click in the output range box and select cell E1. After that, click OK. Result will be shown in the cell E1. Step 6. State the result of your statistical test. The result follows the exact same result format that we found for the one-group t-test in the previous lesson. From the result table, we now know that t-value is 1.47, and t-critical to tail is 2.36. Therefore, t-value is less than the t-critical value. Since the absolute value of t that we found in the t-stat is less than the critical value of t, we accept the null hypothesis. The conclusion is simply as there is no difference between the two groups in the variable that was measured. I hope you enjoy this lesson, and you now able to use two-group t-test function in Excel. Goodbye.